Hi, it's C. Welcome back to my channel. My last video, I spoke about the ugly seven-letter word that sellers, we don't want to talk about it, but we have to, returns. This video, I am going to talk about giving you some tips on how to avoid returns and also a great tip that's going to help protect you in the event that you have to deal with a return. So let's deal with what can stop returns. Now, again, I sell on both Poshmark and eBay. Poshmark is a lot easier as far as returns because they don't necessarily accept returns. However, this tip is for both platforms is pictures. Poshmark gives you 12, actually Poshmark gives you 16 pictures. Take as many pictures as you can of your item, give it pictures from different angles, and most importantly, if there are any flaws to the item, take a picture of that flaw and mention that flaw in your listing. I like to say something like, the hem is coming loose on the bottom of the shirt. It's not that noticeable, but please see the last picture. And you make it the last picture. Simple. Now, eBay is a little bit more intricate because they are a platform that does offer returns and accept returns. And guess what? If you're a new seller, or even if you're a seasoned seller and you you like to say, well, I don't accept returns. Yes, you do, especially if you're selling online. And let me tell you why before you get all up in arms. First of all, as an online seller, until that person gets whatever it is that they've purchased in their hands, they haven't seen it. You can give the world's best pictures. They haven't seen the item. They have a general idea of what they're going to receive. But until they have it in their hand, they haven't seen the item. Or as I like to say, they haven't been able to touch it, feel it, smell it, lick it, whatever. They haven't seen it. They just have your best picture and the description to go by. So eBay allows, do I have it written down? I do. eBay allows 12 pictures. You do your level best to use all 12 pictures, especially if you are selling an article of clothing, shoes, handbags. Give all 12 pictures if you can from different angles, and a great description. Now, an easy way to come up with a description, eBay has a tool that helps you, I believe, with your descriptions and keywords. I'm assuming they still have it. However, an easy way to look at something is, let's say, for example, you're selling a red dress. So you would, please don't, please don't start your title red dress. And that's it. Don't do that. Don't be that seller. And don't put in the description red dress size small. And that's it. And then even come onto these, different chat groups or message services and start complaining about the platform. They aren't anything because I've had my red dress up there forever and nobody is liking it. No one is buying it. You haven't given us any, first of all, you haven't given any information for the web crawlers to even find it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So the first thing that you want to do is, again, use as many pictures as possible. Then look at your item and say to yourself, what is it about this item that I would type into a search engine to help me find this item? That's a good starting point. So again, back to the red dress. Look at the tag. Who's the brand name? H&M, red dress. What size is it? Size small. That's your starting title. If there's anything noticeable about the dress that it stands out, say it's a dress that has what is it? The holes in the shoulders, they call that open shoulders. H&M, red dress, size 12, open shoulder. So those are all keywords that you can put in your title. Okay, when you're describing it, you're going to describe it even further. And one thing that I definitely encourage, I know it's a hot topic for some sellers, but if you're brand new, especially if you're already a seasoned seller and you don't do this and your business is booming, this doesn't really apply to you. But if you are brand new trying to start out, put some measurements in your listing. And here's why. Again, it's a protection for you. All right? Because guess what? If I buy that red dress size medium, I can try to return it. And the first thing I can do is I complain, well, it says it's a size medium, but it fits more like a large. It fits more like a small. But if you have the measurements in your dress, then you can protect yourself by going to eBay and say, well, yeah, the label says, medium, and eBay is going to see that in the picture. However, when I measured the dress, it says the bust was this size, the arms were this length, the waist was this size. And those are there in place for your potential buyer to use those measurements against a piece of clothing similar to what they're trying to buy to see if it fits. So again, that's going to be a protection for you in the long run. So if you're not already doing it and you're starting out, get in the habit of putting measurements. In fact, I have a video on my channel that shows you how I do measurements. I can measure something in under a minute now because of the technique that I use. And my measurements are always accurate. I have had people that purchase from me message me and let me know that my measurements were accurate. So, but I've been doing this measuring technique for, I want to say, at least 8 years. So, and it's never failed me yet. So check that video out. So again, pictures, give as many pictures as you can, give a great title and a great description. That is going to bring buyers, potential buyers to your site, and is going to protect you in the event that somebody tries to make a return claiming that there's a flaw or something on the garment. And, if you already have it listed, then you're going to be protected. I had that happen to me a long time ago. Again, I haven't had a whole lot of returns. But one time I had it was a key ring. It was an old vintage key ring. And I remember when I picked it up at an estate sale, and it reminded me of the key ring that my dad had when I was a little girl. And it opened up and it had it flipped back and forth. You could put the keys on it. Anyway, long story short, I sold it, but and it looked like it was brand new. It looked like it had never been touched. However, when you opened it, the backing was coming apart because the glue over the years, had dried out, cracked out, but somebody could easily glue it and it would look brand new. I didn't want to do it because, again, this was a vintage item. And I know with vintage, some collectors, they want to do their own repair work. So I mentioned this in the listing. I stated that, the backing was coming off, could easily be repaired, yada, yada, bing, bang, boom. Person bought it. About a few days after they received it, they opened a case against me, and this is when eBay had just started with the defects. So this case was going to give me a defect, and the buyer said, the case was coming apart. The buyer said almost the exact same thing that I said in the listing. So rather than take it personal, I messaged the buyer back because, again, I accept returns. So I messaged the buyer back and I stated that I would be happy to accept your item. Sorry you are disappointed. I said, but so that I can prepare the next buyer, I said, how do you recommend that I reword my listing to state the defect? Because I stated the defect in the listing, but somehow, you didn't miss it. You missed it, or I didn't say didn't pay attention, but I stated, how would you describe it so that I wouldn't have this happen again? And not even an hour after I sent the message did he close did he close the case. And that just let me know that the buyer didn't read, which a lot of times we all experience that. The buyer didn't read the listing. However, what brought them to the listing was your 12 fabulous pictures. They saw those pictures and they were like, oh my God, I have to have that. Click. It happens all the time. So when you have the thing, you know, the description in writing, showing all of the defects, all of the, even the pluses, give them a reason why they should be buying this item from you. You know, there's only, 25 of these that was ever made, and you've got number 3 of 25. Whatever you're going to do, give them as much detail as possible. Even though it seems like it might be a lot of work, remember, these people are not seeing your item. They're only seeing the picture of your item. And the one thing that you want to have happen, and the thing that that has protected me most over the years with eBay, is my reputation. I have had some buyers try to get refunds or whatever that they probably would have received. But eBay sees my body, my history, and they see that this is not the way that I run my business. So the likelihood of this complaint being true against me, they're like, nah, don't worry about it. See, we're going to, you keep your money. We're da-da-da. And I've never had to worry about money coming out of my pocket. So again, describe your items to the best of your ability. And also make sure you put a good keyword rich title to get the people to your listing, and pictures. And again, if you've got something that you're selling that might have a small defect or whatnot, mention that in the listing. I like to say, for example, a dress, the hem might be coming loose, it's not noticeable. Please see the last picture. Whatever the defect is, please see the last picture, and you make that the last picture of your listing. And then sometimes, even if something like, for example, a small hole, it might be the size of a pinhole. I tend to take pictures with like a dime next to it so they can see size wise. Oh, that really is a small hole. It's not even noticeable. Click, let me buy it. All right. So I hope those few tips helped you. And again, put a like on my video, share it. And what else? What else do you crazy kids do? Share it with a friend, subscribe. I don't know how to do ring the notification bell. I don't know how to do all that yet. I'm learning. Okay. But if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. All right. Thank you so much. And y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye.